All right, guys, welcome back to Schmattz Outdoors. This is going to be part two, or the second half of check day 4 on my Minnesota Trapline. If you missed it, go back and watch Wednesday's video for part 1, which is the first half of this check. In this video, it's going to start basically right at the next sets after the one you've seen on that video, and it's going to run you through the end of the day, including the end of the day wrap-up. So enjoy the video. I'm down by where I trapped the nuisance beaver this spring out of here. Things have definitely changed in, 6 months. So here is part of the creek. So I'm upriver or upstream. There's no water flowing into this right now. The water level was literally way up here. Like all this stuff, like you can see where this stuff's all cut off. That's how deep the water level was. So it's dropped 3 feet. And this dam must have been here, but I just didn't notice it this spring. We walked kind of out along, but all this whole area out here was all flooded. So I feel like they must have added this guy because it's got grass growing on it. So it's, obviously been here for a bit, but if guy ever wanted to trap raccoons, right here's your crossover. It goes right here, kind of splits, goes this way. There's all kinds of raccoon sign along here, which I may put some raccoon sets in, but I'm not going to do it today. There's actually deer tracks right here where the deer have been walking along the edge. So I'm walking back towards where their lodge was at here. And what I was kind of looking for is to see if there's any bank dens or anything, or any kind of sign. Like there's zero fresh trimmings anywhere where I can see back in here. They're all the sticks are all gray. Or all the chewings. You see what I mean? Like, this should be like bright yellow or bright white if it was fresh. And there's no peeled sticks up here because they eat the bark off of everything. So I actually think they moved because there's more sign actually closer to the road, which is actually ideal for me. So right here you can see the dam. We're just gonna walk down in the water. So this is the dam that I trapped last. Just about fell in the mud. And again, right here is a perfect crossover. Comes up. It doesn't look as good down on that side, the crossover part of it, but I mean, obviously they're going right here, something is. But I had my caster mound this spring right over here by these couple trees, someplace right in here. I had my caster mound this spring, and I had my drowning thing out here. I mean, so we're talking from here to down there, like 4 foot of water drop, I bet, in here, down on this end of it. Their beaver house is over here, and I think it's abandoned as far as I could tell. Like this channel is only like 3-4 inches deep. And you can kind of see, I mean, if you wanted to catch raccoons, right there's your raccoon set. I mean, the raccoons or something, beaver aren't living in this house anymore, the raccoons or whatever. I'm sure that's a perfect spot. Guy could probably catch a bunch of raccoons here if a guy wanted to, but I'm not trapping this nuisance beaver job to trap raccoons. It looks like they built a dam right down here, which that was not here before. Trying to figure out how you get around there though. You gotta be careful walking around all these beaver dams and stuff, because it's like I call them punji sticks. Like here's the first like fresh sign up this way I've seen. Like that's fresh chewed. I mean, maybe not fresh, but within, the last few months anyway. I'm gonna drop down in the water here. I'm knee deep in the water, so I mean, there could possibly be a bank den right in here somewhere, but again, there's only one shoot off stick. Doesn't look like a real great crossover here or nothing really. But we're going to. So part of this is why I left this. Like yesterday I didn't have the time to do it. Like this one's fresh chewed off. Because it just takes some time to scout all this. So I'm walking right down. I would say right here's a caster mound. Right here they got their own mud pushed up there. Again, so as a bet man, caster mounds. Looks like at some point they had a run going up here into the woods to trim sticks. So walking in the bottom of this is, so they got shit pushed up here too. Walking in the bottom of this, I'm doing two things. If there is a bank den, so a run going up into the bank somewhere, I should be able to find it by walking through here. Again, a perfect crossover. You know, either put a foothold here or a conibear or a foothold on this side of it. It'd be perfect on this side of it because the water is only ankle deep. So I'm just trying to, so I'm walking towards the road here. So like I said, it's getting better. So I could see this from the road where they're like digging the channel out and just pushing the mud off to the side. There may be like right in here, there may be an actual bank den in there. My plan is to just set a foothold in front of a caster mound or even two. See, now the water got deeper here. There's a better chance that there's bank dens here. Up underneath all these trees, if they're in here, they're gonna be underneath all that. See, except for right here, it looks like they've kind of started a makeshift, here we go, probing stick. A makeshift beaver house. What I'm doing is I'm looking for the run. I think it's going to be over this way. Boy, I don't know. But I feel like right here would be a perfect spot for a foothold on a drowning wire, right out to the middle of the creek here. So I think right here is going to be one of my, see there's already a thing, kind of a shelf right there, a notch to kind of focus them into where I want them to be. Not finding a run on this side of it, but this is all feed bed. All right, guys, I'm actually next to, or I'm to the next stop. I'm by this feed lot here. I have a trap over right by this taller tree here. That one's set off today. And down here, I had a flat set. Anyway, so I got a catch over here. I'll show you that in just a sec. So I'll explain why I didn't film more by that beaver set up there. So a gentleman pulled up while I was wandering around in there. I don't know if I caught any of him on film or not, but I guess it was the local fire department. They're actually gonna burn that entire ditch out of there. So they're trying to kind of see what's all in there. They want to get all the grass and stuff and try and get some of those willows and stuff under control. So they're gonna burn it today. So I'm like, well, that's awesome. I mean, not awesome that he's burning it, but it's awesome that he at least stopped to let me know that he's doing it. Because if I was down in that creek, I mean, that fire could have come right up on me without me even really knowing it was there. You know, unless I happen to catch a little bit of smoke or something. But so they're gonna burn it today. So tomorrow I'm gonna drop those sets in there. There's definitely beaver there. I might throw in maybe 3:30 tomorrow. I'm put it on one of those dam crossovers. I'm not real sure yet. We're gonna put one caster mount in for sure. where that feed bed is, I couldn't find a run going up into where they got kind of the start of a house there. So it could be underneath all the feed bed they had and everything like that, which can't do nothing about that. So castor mounds, I got basically, you know, I got 3 or 4 days, well, I got probably a week of above freezing weather, and if there's beaver in there, they'll keep the ice out of there anyways. So I got a week really to try and get them out of there. So let them burn it. It'll actually make it a little easier for me to see sign, getting in and out of there. I won't have to be so worried about walking into like cut off sticks, so because I don't want to tear holes in my waders here. But so yeah, that's why I kind of shut that off a little abruptly there. I apologize for that. But tomorrow we'll be setting sets in there, and I kind of hope to film a little of that for you, so we'll see how that goes. But we'll show you the catch of the day here. So what I had yesterday, I had a big skunk in this set. This was just a flat set here. Again, right along the edge. I had kind of a skunkier smelling lure, so it's kind of blowing into these trees here, and got myself a coyote. First one here this year. Got him caught by like 2 toes. I don't know how close I can get to show you that, but I don't know. I got him caught by 2 toes. So the middle 2 toes, just the end of them, that's exactly why I want closed jaw traps. It's not a terribly big coyote, but this coyote's waiting for me. If you had offset jaws, you know, a 2-toe catch like that, you know, you never know if he's still waiting for you or not. But this is one place I always worry about the quality of the coyotes, just because, you know, I get a lot of ones with like, I don't know if they're shoulder mites or what's really causing the rubbing on the back of the neck. This guy who's got a few burrs there, but he looks pretty good. He's just barking away. I would say it's just a pup. He's not super big, but coyote's a coyote, I guess. We'll get the set over there remade, and then I'll come over and I'll take care of this guy, and we'll keep moving on. So I actually might add a few muskrat sets today, just because I didn't add those beaver sets in. I might have a little extra time here. So all right, like I said, we'll get him taken care of. So stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll be putting in beaver sets. That makes 10 coyotes already, and this is only the 4th check. It's 2.5 a day. I got a lot of skinning ahead of me again tonight. All right, guys. So I just dropped them 4 muskrat sets that I've had built for like 2 days riding around in my truck. I just dropped them in a mink box and another slough that's, I don't know, basically on the other side of this grove of trees up over here. In a slough that I've had success in the past. But there literally was a hut like, I don't know, 30 feet off the road, 20 feet off the road probably. And I bet I seen 4 or 5 muskrats. So I come and splash just while I was putting my sets there. So I feel like that's a pretty good sign. But this is also a good sign. So I added, it almost looked like there was like a run going past my 2 sets I got here. And going like, there should be the culvert maybe up in here. But see how like this is all like trashed up? I'm kind of wondering. Oh, the old mink was here. I had a muskrat in there and his head's all chewed completely off. So that's not ideal. And I actually got a mink box just sitting right here. But the mink chewed up my muskrat right here. I don't know, maybe if he was still alive, but right here I got a muskrat floating. So that one's caught in a foothold. He don't look like he's been chewed on at all. And obviously you can see that one there floating. So I had 3 here, but the mink got me. And then on the other side of the road, I have a catch as well. We'll quick show you that. So again, we got kind of the bigger slough on this side, just a little finger of the slough on that side. But there's more sign, or closer sign, on that other side of the road. You know, there's probably better places than this slough to put your sets. You know, So the hut, there's obviously a hut out there, but I feel like over in the corner here, they're down in the corner down there, might be better spots. But as you can see right here, we got a floating muskrat on my 110. My foothold's still working here, so basically 4 out of 5 sets here. We'll have to take a look at that one the mink chewed all up there, see how badly damaged he is, but he may become muskrat or mink bait. I may throw him right in that mink box, so we'll see. Like I said, we'll get him out of there and see what the pelt looks like and go from there. All right, guys, so I'm to a giant slough. Takes up most of a quarter here. I mean, obviously it's kind of goofy shaped, but what I did is I just dropped in a pole set here, one right here in the sun free and the one down there, and I got a catch down there. But I dropped my mink box in right here, and it set off for the second day in a row. So I don't know if the trap is jumpy, but like yesterday there was fresh raccoon tracks right here in the mud. But you can kind of see it almost looks like a little trail right here. So I dropped it kind of right on the edge. But like I said, it just seems odd that it's just sprung straight out here. Like it's almost like the trap went off and it just shot out here. I thought yesterday maybe a coon had set it off, but now I'm a little wondering. So if this thing's set off tomorrow, I may swap the trap out. We're gonna kind of make sure that it's set pretty solid today before I leave. But like I said, we'll quick walk down here. Like I said, there really isn't, there's a lot more weeds and stuff along the edge this year. Normally it was just grass up until this year, so there never was any muskrat huts out here, but I always catch a few out here. But I hope you guys can see them right here. There's a muskrat laying there. And pretty good sized one. Got him caught by one front foot, at least one front foot and one back foot. So he wasn't getting out of there. So we'll get that mink box reset as well. Like I said, we're gonna play around with that trap wheel, just make sure it ain't going off on its own. Because if it's doing that, it ain't doing me any good. So, and then we'll get this muskrat out of here. We'll be on our way. All right, guys, so I'm down to the 4 corner slough. I hope you guys can see. So there's a little bit of slough here that is actually dry, and it usually is. And then there's I got 2 sets on the other end. I had 1, I think, over there yesterday, but I showed this set, so I got basically where they didn't knock the cattails down. I just went out here and put 1 muskrat set out here, because again, I wasn't real sure how many, if any, muskrats were even in this slough. And I had one in here yesterday, and I got another one today, right here. Yeah, not the biggest muskrat in the world, but big enough for this guy. He'll be getting a free ride home with me. So we're going to check that beaver set and stuff now, and then the ones on the other side, like I said, I kind of go down this road to the south, and then to check where that beaver set is, and then I go back to the north. So I'll check those other ones on my way back. All right, guys, well, as you hopefully can see, I'm back by this beaver house. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know there's beaver in here, because like there's fresh mud that's, you know, wet, been in the last few days up here. I almost feel like their feed bed's getting bigger. But my beaver set is plugged up with a damn muskrat again. I don't know if he's still alive or... No, this one's actually dead. So what we're gonna do is, I'm actually gonna go right out here. I'm gonna go make me a couple muskrat sets quick, and we're gonna set a couple muskrat sets, maybe like one right here and one just right over here or something. Hopefully we can get the muskrats caught before they're plugging up my caster mount set. I don't know if the muskrat did it or if the beaver did it, but my caster mount is completely flattened out again. So I feel like if I can keep the muskrat, sorry about the sound, if I can keep the muskrats out of my set here, maybe I can actually catch this beaver. I think there may only be one in here. That's the worst part. So it's like, gosh darn it, if a guy would catch one and maybe go a couple days without either catching them or seeing fresh shine, I could pull this set out of here, but not when this keeps happening. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna put, like I said, just out of the way of where my drowning wire is here. I'm gonna put 2 muskrat sets out here. Like I said, maybe if there, I didn't figure there'd be no muskrats in here, so I didn't put any to begin with. I normally would. As long as I'm making the stop to walk out in the water, I would normally put everything here, but last year when I had my beaver sets in here, I never caught a single muskrat out here, so I didn't figure there'd be any in here this year, and I was wrong. Apparently there was 2. So yeah, I'm gonna go make up a couple muskrat sets. I'll get this beaver or this muskrat out of my beaver set here, and we'll move on. All right, guys, I'm in the north half of the Four Corners slough here. So where I videoed earlier is over the road in the slough that's here. I have a set to the west of me and that side. Nothing in that one today. But right down here is a muskrat. Last muskrat trap of the day again, and we got ourselves another one. So I don't know, I wasn't really keeping track today, but I feel like I'm probably close to 15 now, so we'll get this guy out of here. Like I said, I got 1 mink box left to check, otherwise it's all land sets from here on out, so we'll see if we got anything else for you. All right, guys, we made her home. A little earlier than I expected, but not as early as I had hoped. Obviously I didn't get those beaver sets put in, so that saved me a little bit of time. So I already went through my truck and kind of cleaned it out, organized it a little bit. So I should be ready to go right away in the morning here. So I took the milk crate that my raccoon trapping pail, normally I set that in a milk crate, it just kind of keeps it from moving around. I actually took out all the big tote I had muskrat sets in, and I consolidated them all down to this milk crate, and then I threw in 1 330, and then this is one of the H stands I made this summer. I did a video on how I made that guy. So we're gonna try and maybe put out beaver sets tomorrow, and I think I got 1 spot that will work good for a 330. So we're gonna take that guy with me and hopefully kind of carpet bomb that beaver set or those beaver and see if I can get them all caught early, you know, quick in like 2 or 3 checks. Because like I said, hopefully by Friday I'll be done water trapping, or not hopefully, but my plan is on Friday I'll be done water trapping. But I do have to leave a few of the beaver sets, like I already have the 1 beaver set out, and if I have to leave these beaver sets for a few days after that, checking a couple beaver sets wouldn't be so bad. It's just you got to get your waders on and off. But we're going to go give you a quick rundown of the catch here, and then we'll let you guys go for tonight. So we ended up with 5 raccoons. This is the raccoon that I had caught in that abandoned farm place that was kind of half tucked underneath that building. I'm going to weigh him for you guys. So what I got here is a Big Game Tree Stands digital game scale here. We're going to turn it on. So it's set in pounds. And I'm hoping one-handed here. Get him over there. Won't be sitting on the ground. Oh, it's spinning away from me. So there you go. That's probably maybe the 5th raccoon I've ever had in my life that's top 30 pounds. And 32.6, 32.8, what was it here? Spin it back around. Yeah, 32.6. You know, and I'm not hanging on to him at all, just stopping him from spinning there, but 32.6 pounds. So that's a big raccoon. Like I said, it's usually about every few years, but then, I mean, he's got a beautiful bushy tail. He's probably, you know, stretcher like a 5XL, I'm sure. I don't really know which ones are which, quite honestly, because they all kind of got thrown in here on top of each other. But I ended up with the 5 raccoons. I got the coyote from this morning sitting over here. I brought him home and just laid him on my skinning table. He's got a few birds in there, but I think we'll get him cleaned up pretty easily. So, you know, a nice adult dog. Like I said, we'll get him cleaned up. I have my suspicions that he's going to be bit up. See how there's like these little tuft of fur there? I wouldn't be surprised if he's bit up in the butt end from other coyotes attacking him when he was in the trap. Hopefully that's a sign that maybe those other coyotes will come back, and I'll have one of his buddies sitting there waiting for me tomorrow or in the next few days. And then I ended up with The one little coyote here, this is the second coyote I caught today that was caught in by that feedlot. He's just a pup. Again, the pups seem awful small this year. Normally, I mean, there's, you know, this is an adult. Normally this guy's like 90% the same size as the adults, but the pups seem like they're, you know, very distinguishably smaller this year. So like this guy may not stretch like a 2XL coyote. He might only be like a large, extra large coyote. And I have a few that are that way already. He's got pretty nice fur on him. He's got a few burrs right here in his hackle, but other than that, he's fully complete. None of the ones I've gotten so far have been rubbed at all in the neck or had any of the shoulder mites and stuff that they had a couple years ago, and yet last year even a few of them had it. So I'm kind of thankful for that. But this is coyote number 10 already and 4 checks, so that's just bonkers to me. I mean, I'm putting traps out at, you know, with the idea that I'm going to catch them. To have that many in this short a time period is just, you know, that's well above any of my other seasons I've ever had. I don't foresee even the raccoons and stuff. I got 15 caught now in 4 checks. I believe 15. I'm not sure of the exact number, but you know, that's well above the average, let's put it that way. I mean, last year I think I only caught like 22 raccoons the whole season, so I'm well above that. And then we got this little badger here. He's not the biggest badger in the world. I mean, he's probably like this year's little one, but he's got good puff to him. Even like the top of his back here, he's got pretty good puff, which, you know, and he's nice and white, which I think is what they want, rather than being, I get some that are really kind of dark brown colored and they don't really like them. But so yeah, we got him. So I left one muskrat there, the one that was all chewed up, and this one here was in the same spot, and I actually think like he's got blood on his head here. So I'm actually not so sure that the mink didn't get after that guy too, but we'll skin him and find out how badly damaged he is. I imagine he'll have a few holes up around the head here. He's definitely gonna get skinned. But you see how he's like dark and matted? Like as soon as they like break like the seal of the fur, so if you went like that in the water and let the like, water get in there, then they'd turn like this and they don't dry. Where the rest of these, I mean, like this one here is like completely dry and poofy. It's like they, you know, the oil they put on themselves or whatever to kind of keep themselves, you know, waterproof. As soon as like a mink bites and whatever, it's like it loses its waterproof and lets the water seep in, you know, kind of breaks the shell of waterproof they have on them, and then they get like that. So I left one there and I have 14 here. So I caught 15 muskrats today. The one I left, I mean, like his whole head was completely gone, fur and everything, and he was basically just a tube, like half of his body. So I kind of drug him across the mud and then threw him in my mink box right there. So kind of left a scent trail of that muskrat and then threw him in my mink box. So we'll see. Hopefully that mink is caught in my mink box or one of those sets before he keeps chewing up my muskrats. So, but yeah, we'll give you a little better look at the rest of them here. Average size is way up today compared to what it was yesterday. I mean, it's hard to really tell, but like, you know, like this guy's a big one, this one's a big one, that one's a big one, big one, big one. That one's pretty good sized. You know, these two are really good sized. You know, I do have a couple little ones here in the middle, and this one's pretty small, but oh, and then I got last but definitely not least, 2 skunks today. Only 2. So that's below the average because I've had 12 in 3 checks. So 4 a day for the first 3 checks, and now I only got 2 today. So average is down today on skunks, which, and actually both of those were caught in 220s. So they were both already dispatched, which is awesome for me when I'm running my line. Just takes a long time to get them all dispatched and get the sets remade and everything like that. So if I can show up and they're already dead, I'm all for that. So. But yeah, we're having one heck of a season. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. I'm doing the best I can to film what I can for you guys. I'd like to be showing you a little better the locations and stuff, but I just don't, I'm running out of time every day right now to do all that. So, and like I said, I have plenty of places. I probably have at least 10 more coyote sets that I could get in right now that, you know, fields have been worked since I first started and things like that, that I could get sets in. I just don't have time to actually add sets. Today I pulled one muskrat set, so where the mink ate the muskrat, I actually pulled that set just because there was basically no more channel left because from the disturbance, everything there. And I added 6 muskrat sets, 2 by that beaver house where I've caught 2 muskrats in my beaver trap in a row now. I put 2 muskrat sets there, and I put 4 more out and a mink box out in another sluice. So pulled 1, added 6, so I added basically 5 more muskrat sets to check tomorrow and an extra mink box. And I don't think I added or pulled any other sets other than that. I did swap out 2 110s that were set off today, but when I went to try and reset them, they set off again, and then I tried to reset them and they set off again. So that's basically like 3 strikes you're out. I just went in the truck and grabbed a new one. So like I said, in this little milk crate, which I'll set back in now, I got some extra footholds in there, some extra 110s in there, and the bait clips and all that stuff in case I do have time or want to add some more muskrat sets out. I'm actually driving by like 3 or 4 sloughs that I probably could have muskrat sets, or that I could have, and I think there's muskrats maybe in there. But like I said, you only have so much time of the day. It's gonna be well past dark by the time I get done skinning again tonight. So we're actually gonna get going doing that. I think I've talked long enough here. If you guys have any questions about what I'm doing, anything like that, any of the bait and lures, all that stuff, I'll try to answer. I got some videos already out there. You can maybe go back and look at my catalog of videos to see, maybe some of those will answer your questions. But if you have anything else, leave them in the comments below. I'm always looking for ideas, anything that will help you guys out. So if you put comments below, I'll try to answer them. And I may even make a little video to help describe or show what I'm trying to describe in a comment. So leave those down below. Subscribe if you don't mind. Otherwise, we'll see you guys out on the line tomorrow.